and welcome to another episode of Prototech Pursuit. And we have been flying around in search of nickel, as I was very low on it in the last episode. And we found some, and we're mining it. So, mission already accomplished, which was a wonderful thing to get done this early in the episode. But next, the plan today is to retrofit the dropship. We are going to turn it into a full-on combat vessel, and we are going to fully equip that thing with a absolute ton of rotor turrets, because I love rotor turrets, man. They make me happy. So we probably have more than enough nickel for now. Let us head on back, get docked up, and take a look at upgrading that dropship to a combat ship. Parked up, and we can go and move this thing into position. If we unlock from here and move ourselves up and over top of the ship, the platform, our build and repairs should have the range to reach all the little bits of the ship, and so that we'll be able to fully retrofit it, disconnect it. But before I do that, there's a few little sort of housekeeping things I need to do. We have this thing still floating down here, which we need to take care of. And to take care of that, what I think I'll do is I'll put down a little tug of some kind. Little ion-based small grid tug. Just slap down a couple batteries. Get a seat, which I think I need some interior plate. Yes I do. But thankfully, interior plate is right here. Easily accessible. You can just slap a seat. Get some ion thrusters. Which ones are cute? Well, I'll just get the scroll one and normals. Nah, sci-fi? I'll go with warfare thrusters because that's badass. And we will thruster on each side, as well as thrustering forwards and backwards, as well as upwards and downwards. And that is nice and compact there. Throw on some gyroscopic power, a landing gear to grab stuff right there, and there we go. We have a tug all laid out, and all we need to do now is go to our build and repairs, and we can set them into fly mode, and they should build that up lickety split. Jump on in, and I can start flying it as I'm getting built. Now what we should be able to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to grab the back of this thing. There we go. We'll leave you there. And the next thing we're going to do is do a build color that we're going to use with our build and repairs to grind down the grid. Now what I'm going to do is I think 320 is good with max saturation and max value, which gives us a nice bright pink. So it's very obvious what I'm doing. And we have this hex color of FF00AA. What we can then do is go down here to our build and repairs, and we can go down to the settings for grinding, which then we can pick current color, and now it will only grind that color. We don't want it to janitor any enemy or unowned blocks, just in case I come back with a piece of Prototech that I haven't fully captured yet. I don't want them to grind it away. But now what I can do is I can paint something like this well, this magnetic plate there, and they will automatically grind it away, so I don't have to deal with it. And what I can do now is take this little take this Prototech refinery on a little bit of a tug ride, and you are wibbly wobbly. That is okay. We're not going to go far. We're just going to stick you over here in the refinery section. Stick you there and unplug, and there we go. Now that has been removed. And we'll park our little tug right here. We may need it shortly. But now, what we can do... I'm kind of tempted. Is it control middle click? Or it's control shift middle click is the whole area. I think control middle click is a small area. Yeah. That's like a couple blocks distant. But we can start painting these blocks and start disassembling them so that we can get on to renovating this ship. But I remembered something we will have to go and do here while we wait for a lot of this stuff to be ground down. I'll leave some of this stuff attached. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to set up some jump drives, because we need them. So, as it stands currently, I mean, we have this thing disconnected, so that'll be some additional weight. But we've got our mining ship full of resources. We've got this platform absolutely chock full of stuff. If I went in for a jump with the one jump drive I have here, just that one, this platform will only be able to go 150 kilometers. Probably more like 140 with that thing attached. That's pathetic. This thing cannot jump very far. So what I'm thinking is a good spot to add some jump drives. No, it's not what I wanted to press. It would be right here on the arms of every pod. And we could get all the jump drives we need put in along here. So it is both connected to this beam as well as supporting this catwalk. I like it. I really do. So we're going to put them all along each end. And then it should be that the build and repairs do their job, and they're capable of building all that up. But I believe that I have actually set some of the values here for these assemblers to be a tad too high. We have our master assembler, and I basically set it to make 1,000 of everything. But I think that was an issue with like gravity components and medical components. I don't think I need 1,000 of those on hand at any one time. I think 100 will do. And so we'll knock that down. And then we'll go into all of the various queues on these things and knock down the required amounts of all these things. Just clean out the build queue and let it repopulate here in a second with just what I actually do need. And there, we only need 36 more of these gravity components. But to build those gravity components, we need silver, and we need gold and cobalt. And I'm wondering, how am I doing on those values? Silver, we've got 1,000 there. I'm actually running out of silver. I'm gonna have to find some of them soon. Cobalt, got 500 something in each one of these assemblers. That's great. We got a couple thousand there. We got some in the refineries. So, some, but we're running low on cobalt. We're going to have to find some more cobalt as well. But for gold, we do have 400,000 ore. We just need to process it. And what I'm thinking is, if I just carrying a little bit too much stuff here, I'm also carrying a bunch of scrap. There we go, that's better. I'm thinking what I do is I make one portion of these my special or modified area. So I go into my pipes and I get my conveyor pipes. And this area is very loud because of these refineries. But we cut this back and we're going to put in a sorter. And this will be pushing out. So I will name this sorter special or out. That'll work. And on this end, I'll cut this off and I'll put it facing inwards and I'll name it sorter special or in and evacuate the area because it is very, very fucking loud. And we can do our changes through a turret here. So with those two sorters, the special area out, it'll be a blacklist for gold ore. So it will remove everything but gold ore. We can drain all on that. And then the special area in will be a whitelist with only gold ore. And we're going to allow it, we just won't push it, but we'll just allow it to come in. And what that should do is for those refineries, their various stuff is going to get taken out, but only gold is going to be allowed back in. And so I can go to a cargo container and get this moving along a little bit faster. Find somebody that's relatively empty. And if I empty this guy out, he pulls gold and is only going to pull gold. So I can just empty these refineries, and I'm not sure which ones are on which side. If they pull gold, they're on that side. And so that one pulled nickel, it was on the other side. So it must be, we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is how many I have on one side. So I have my 6 refineries spitting out gold, should allow my various assemblers to kick ass with the superconductors. They should be being split up here. And when this thing has enough gold and iron, hopefully, gold ingots. Yes. Some of them are being created in some of the assemblers. I think my assemblers are just too fast for the amount of gold that I have. I just don't have enough. But with those being built constantly, some of these should be welded, or at least in the process of welding. Here we go. Look at this one. Take a look at it here. 452, 454, 455 superconductors. Excellent. So now those are in the process, and I can now focus on retrofitting this ship for the rest of the episode. So we'll go back to our grind color and continue cutting away from this ship and its various things. We're actually going to put a single block there. Probably a conveyor or something. Just because I want to hold this thing together. Also, for the build and repairs, we'll change them up from weld before grind to grind before weld. So it'll focus on grinding these blocks down first for us, which is a bit more important at the moment. And let's continue on just painting out every block that this thing doesn't really need right now, and that we could possibly change up. Alright, I think I've removed pretty much every non-functional block on this entire grid. All the armor's gone, well, except for that piece. Now it's all gone. And we can take a look at its design and see how I'd like to change it up. Because I want to keep the cockpit. I think this entire cockpit design up here is good. I think it is good enough to keep. I think I should keep it, so I will. But there's a lot of stuff back here that I don't need anymore. This thing does not need a bunch of O2H2s, or at least not this many. We can remove them for now. And yeah, just get rid of a lot of this stuff. We're definitely giving it new turrets, so these assault cannons are going. We'll get rid of them. Get rid of all this stuff on the other side too to make it equal and fair. I'm not sure. I don't like the placement of that auction tank, so we'll probably move that. We'll stick it in somewhere else later. Just clean up all that stuff. We'll replace the defense, the AI defensive later, and get rid of this refinery, as we don't need it anymore. This is not going to be a refinery ship. It is going to be a combat ship. So all that stuff there, all this storage here, this can go. We don't really need that. We've got the one storage in the center. And I believe this leaves us with a pretty good sort of base. This is the simplest this ship can be right now, which is we have our main thruster with a little bit of butt defense from this turret. A gas storage.
Low.
Our energy low. Well, thankfully, we have a refill station nice and close, which are becoming very useful to have. But as we were saying, we have gas storage here. We have some energy storage and an assembler, which I think I'm going to keep the assembler on here, because if I'm ever in a situation where I'm out doing something and I find some really good loot, I can disassemble that loot. Say I kill an enemy and he has autocannon, but I have gatling, and so I can't use his autocannon. Well, I can disassemble it and build gatling with it. So it becomes like my ability to recycle bits and pieces and possibly do some basic repairs on this ship if I need to from scavenged resources. Then a cargo, which will be our main magazine, and then the front of the ship where the living quarters and the airlock is located. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to get some more thrusters on this thing. We'll figure out thrusters first, because I need this thing to be able to move properly. And I had an idea. I can put some internal thrust. I can go like this. And I can get internal reverse thrusters. Like so. Because I plan to have this area free and clear, because these need at least 2 blocks. So as long as I don't put anything here or here, I'm fine. I can still fill this space with blocks. But as long as I don't cover these 2, I can have 4 reverse thrusters hidden in my design, which I think will look great. We also are going to need our other thrusters here around the large thruster in the back. Our thruster clusters, as I like them. Oh, and also get rid of this connector and sorter. We don't need those. Put on that thruster here. So theoretically, we have thrust in every direction. I'm not sure about this. That thruster there. But man, I hardly have enough thrusters now, do I? I have an idea, actually. I want to see how this is going to work. If I remove these reverse thrusters, I'll move them forward. And if I go and extendo these like this, I could make like a thruster bank. Like that. Because I can stick something in here. And then from there, I go reverse thrusters. I think this might work. Because then that gives me 6 up, 6 down, 3 left, 3 to right. Especially if I do that on the other side here. I think that gives me a lot of potential power here. In terms of my ability to maneuver. Because I can armor this up. Ooh, and I need to set up a block, a bar here for dealing with heavy armor. Because this thing is going to be completely clad in heavy armor in the future. We can full block it and potentially, I mean, so you could slope it if we wanted to. Or we could even give it a little bit of texture with like slope like that, and then the half slope. I don't know, something like that. Make them nice and rounded. Or even do it like a inverted thing. Cut this down real quick. Where we do the... Where is this guy? I think he's in this group. Yeah, this guy. We can do that. And then we can do some slanting, maybe up. Like so. Like so. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different options there. Whether I want it to be concave or convex or something in between. I could just do simple slope if I wanted to. And then I can, you know, say peter this off outwards out onto the engine nacelles for armor shaping. But there's so many options that I could do there. I think that'll work. And then what I can stick in here? I can do an H2O2 in there. I can fit you in right there. I mean, this works. I could also flip it around this way. It would all work, but this would give more redundant pathways for conveyorage. Because I do want some H2O2. Doesn't have to be a lot, but just enough that we can do a little bit of running our thrusters. If we were out in the middle of nowhere, ran out of fuel, and I had a bucket of ice. Just enough I could limp home, sort of thing. That's all I need. Ooh. Ooh, I like it. I think for now, I'm going to just quickly grind away these bits of armor so I can worry about that later. Now, the primary armament for this thing is going to be new rotor turrets, which I'm extremely excited about. I'm going to make them nice and big and powerful. And so we're going to slap in, I think, a lot of custom turret controllers. Something like that. Just all the custom turret controllers we could ever need or want. Because what we're going to do is we're going to bring out these conveyor junctions this way and get advanced rotors and hinges and what else do I need for this? We need small conveyors. Guys, we're going to go. And let's do the one on the top first, because that's going to be an important one. We're going to have to actually align this thing properly. You can see there's 0 facing forward. That'll become important later. As well as when we put this one on, we have to make sure you can see the ghost there. If you look at the left side of it, oh god, it doesn't work when I go into third person, like into spectator camera. You see in the upper left how there's that line and on the upper right, there's like the nut. The line is negative, and the nut is like positive. So if you build it this way, and you have your turret facing this way, as in this line is the back of the turret, then that is like normal feeling. So if you get in the turret, if you push your mouse up, it'll go up. If you push your mouse left, it'll go left. That sort of thing. This is normal orientation. So put in a small head. And now this is the turret facing straight up. So this side here is the top. This side here is the bottom, based on where this line is. So with that information, we can go like this. I have a turret design in mind. It's going to be like so, with a couple pieces of heavy armor right here, and then a camera, which is going to be a top-mounted camera. So this is going to be camera, the top railgun turret. Yes, we're going to put some railguns in there, as we're going to make some beautiful little ball turrets and just destroy everything with them. For now, I need to add a little bit of flooring here so I can actually put down a seat. Get that in heavy armor. Grab a seat and throw it down so I can use it to do this. Alright, so realistically, there's everything we need here. There's this advanced rotor, which I'm going to name... is it top railgun or railgun top up here? What did I name you? Top railgun turret. So this will be top railgun. That'll be it. Probably all I need to do for the various moving components is just make sure I name their location and the weapon that they will be using, top and railgun. So realistically, this guy doesn't need to have turret at the end of his name. If I can get him on the build and repair, just top railgun. As well as in our weapons over here, we can grab our weapon combo thing and scroll through until we find the beautiful railgun, and using that port on the side, we can tuck a railgun right in there all the way to the back, just like so. Now we can go back down to our thing, yeah, and we're going to grab, say, the first custom turret controller. We'll use that one. We'll put it on our bar, put it to control, and now for that custom turret controller, we're going to go custom turret, top railgun, and we just select our rotor, and then our hinge, and then our camera, and then our weapons, which we can name those railguns to top. So that way we know which turret they belong to, and we take control, and oh yeah, baby, we have got a railgun turret. It is a simple thing, but it functions. We jump into spectator camera here. We can position ourselves nicely, and then press F9 to take back control of my character while remaining in spectator camera. Oh yeah, baby! Now that is a bit more deadly than a regular old assault cannon turret, eh? Don't you know? This thing is going to be amazing and is going to kick ass. And we're going to have 4 of these. That's the plan. We're going to have 4 dual railgun turrets on this ship. We're going to have one coming out the side like this. Yeah, because then we'll do hinge here, and then the thing. 2 out, hinge there, then the rotor there, then the hinge. And then as well on the bottom, I think we can just go immediately into rotor, which, yeah, we need to make sure this one's facing forward. And then hinge. Make sure that line is facing to the back of the ship. Cut that away. Small head. Then the same thing. We just need to go through and name it up, which this one will be bottom railgun. And then on the sides here, the exact same thing. Plop it down. Just for sanity's sake, we're going to keep it aligned here with 0 facing forward. And keep it aligned with that line facing to the back of the ship. Adding the small heads and renaming everything. Because this is the right side of the ship, so this will be right railgun. And I'll just do that for the last cardinal direction. And now that all of those have been named, all I have to do now is just set up the turrets themselves with the weapons and the cameras. And with everything set up like that, it just becomes easy peasy to put everything together. I can just come over here to a control panel, go to our custom turret controllers, and then just copy paste top railgun into somebody else. Change this to say left. And now everything I do here is just going to be left railgun. Advanced rotor left. Elevation, like, be the hinge left. Camera left. Railguns left. Easy peasy. Next up, we're going to go right railgun. And just set them up like so. And with these 4 all set up and ready to rock, I'm just going to go always aim at sun. Just for a moment. We still do need to add some gyros to this thing, which I can just slap some on here. I think that might actually be a good spot for them. And we can maneuver this thing a little, turn, and we can see all of our guns continue to track the sun. Turn, track the sun. Basically, with 4 railgun turrets, it should be that wherever an opponent is coming from in the front, like up left, up right, you know, that kind of thing. So say the opponent is coming in from my high and right, the roof turret will be able to get it, and the right turret will be able to get it. The other turrets won't, but that's okay. I'll have at least 2 railgun turrets shooting at every approaching enemy. And if I aim direct on, possibly the enemy really, really far away might be able to get, like, all 4 turrets. Maybe. We'll see. But at bare minimum, we're going to have at least 2 turrets shooting at every enemy that is approaching us. And we can give this a try. Why not? Just pop down here. Empty out our inventory because we got a bunch of crap in there. And we should have some railgun sabos floating around. Yep, we have 16 of them. We do need to build more, but we can get to that. And oh, I think I need a junction there so I can actually access the cargo. Those should get loaded in lickety-split. And if I go to my custom turret controllers and tell them to not aim at the sun, I can take control of it, and I can move around, and I can give it a test, firing into this asteroid here. Jump into spectator camera. 3, 2, 1. Fire! Ha ha! Yeah, baby! That is what I want. Absolutely. Remember, I'm still in control of my ship here. Turrets, tracking, enemy. It's gonna be great, man. These turrets are gonna be overpowered. But that is the plan. Firing again. Doom. Oh, fucking awesome. So, the idea is that those are my hard hitters. And I'll show you how I'm going to cover them up here, just quickly. And I'll do the rest of them off camera. We'll probably do some sloping, like so. And then come back to what will be some full heavy armor blocks to fill in this space here. Probably get some on the bottom as well. When did those... maybe it's just half blocks on the bottom. They start here area. Okay, okay. I think we can do is we can maybe slope this. Give that a little bit of a nose to it. And then from there, slope back half along here. And put in half slabs going back the entire way. Until we get here, which I think we might want to transition into a tip. And then tip up like that to round off the back of this. And then tips along here. And then slab the rest of it. And we have our heavily armored Railgun dual turret of doom that is going to do oh so wonderful things against the enemy fighters. I am excited. And then of course this will all be surrounded with heavy armor up here. Not sure if it's going to be the full blocks for now, but I'll throw that in there just for show. And ooh, that one's actually kind of close, 4.6. If my jump drives get built sometime soon, we might actually be able to go for that one in time. Maybe. We got one done. They're still working on them. Ooh, maybe. Who knows? But what I want to do is I also want to set up another set of turrets. And these are going to be slightly taller. We're going to do this. Then we're going to do the advanced rotor. I want to make sure it's oriented properly with 0 facing forward. And then we got to get our hinge again. Make sure that line is facing backward to make life easy on us. And then get the small head in there. And these are going to be just gatling turrets. Just full of bullet. Absolutely full of bullet. Oh, that's a conveyor cap. That is not what I need. I need a conveyor. There we go. And with our weapons, we can grab just like a regular gat, probably, right? We don't need this to be fancy. We don't need the bits to be special. I mean, I could put an assault cannon turret as well, but we could do auto cannon, but I think just good old gatlings. 3 on each side. Just fill it out. And have 6 gatlings. Have a turret up here. And have a turret down here. The exact same thing. Both sticking out 1 block further than the railgun, which will give it a super firing position. Because from here, what I can do, get up my heavy armor, I can put a heavy armor block there, and then probably like slope it back on either side, make it into a nice ball turret, and set up my camera on that center piece there. Not top mounted, but a normal camera this way. I mean, theoretically, I could do a top mounted right there, but we'll just do a normal camera. And I can do this camera top gat. Same with this rotor. Advanced rotor 5. Nope, you are advanced rotor top gat. And hinge is the same thing. Now, we can set that up. Custom turret controller. Custom turret top gat. and easily just pick up everything that says Top Gat on it. And very easily, they're the only Gatling guns on the grid right now, which makes it easy. Now I can go to Gatling gun and go top, and then just copy, paste that in for the rest of them. Easy. And now, the moment of truth. We need some Gatling ammo. And then we need to change around some settings in order to make sure that our turrets are not going to shoot each other. Throw that in the cargo container, and it should get ripped out into the Gatling turret. Excellent. Jump into the seat. And we're going to get that turret online here with control. And we're going to control this turret. And I do not have control of my elevation. Why do I not control my elevation? Custom turret. Hinge top railgun. That is incorrect. Hinge top gat. That is correct. There we go. And we have the ability to spit out tons of bullets. Jump into our spectator camera here. Align it. Press F9 to get back control. Oh, yeah, baby. Burr. 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 Ah, so good. Now, which would you rather have? Would you rather have this that does this? Or would you rather have one of these? I vote this, because this has got a volume of fire that you cannot replace. This is redundant and easily repaired. That's a good thing about it. And it's hard to break, relatively. This thing shatters quite easily to enemy fire. So our firepower that we're getting here is going to be fragile, but it's going to be insanely high. But now we have an issue. With our top gat here, if I take, not top gat, but top railgun, I can aim at my own ship, and that is a no-no. We don't want that to happen. So I want this thing to clunk stop when we get to about here. So I can rotate it to there. Then I can look at that rotor for the top railgun and see that it is at 216 degrees. Not exactly what I'm thinking of. No, we can put this back in front. I know my numbers here for my angles. Top railgun, it's at 357, which is really like negative something, right? So I want my lower limit, the amount it can go to my left, to be like negative, say, 160. And my upper limit to be 160. Because 180 is full rotation. So what I'm saying is the left side 20 degrees and the right side 20 degrees. So in total, 40 degrees, we're going to have a blind spot. So if I jump into my turret again, I rotate back, clunk, clunk. I can't shoot my own ship. No way that I can. I can try to fire here, which you're not firing for some reason. Come on, railguns! Do I need ammo? I wonder if I need ammo. Railguns top don't have ammo. Let's load them. There we go. I can be right here, and I can fire, and I cannot damage my own ship. So that way, I can have that turret there poking out, and I will never have the chance of my ship doing something stupid and shooting itself. This turret doesn't need that because it is on its plane. It cannot aim lower than 90 degrees. So it has this plane, and nothing will stick out farther than it. Same for this turret. But for the top and for the bottom railguns, they're going to have that minus 160 and plus 160 for them. And oh, right, I did that incorrectly. I didn't raise it up a block. I just added it. Shit. I want to. Ooh, okay. We can fix this. it wouldn't be an episode of mine if something didn't go wrong. There's a reason why I left the tug available, because I figured I'd screw up somewhere. What we can do is we can come in here and we can grab this, because these are all named and everything. I don't want to fix that. I don't want to have to do that again. I can do that, and then I can go and detach this rotor and pull it away. Come on, don't wiggle on me, turret. And then we can go and go junction, which is what we needed there in the first place. I'll move a little bit further away again. And then advance, no, weld pads. That's what I need. I need constructor boat heads. And we can weld pad that to that. Make sure this is the 0, so I want to line it that way. And then just bring this back up into position. And pull away. Go, Mr. Little Tug. This thing is awesome. And now that works. I just need to probably, since the blocks were detached and reattached, the custom turret for the bottom gat is probably screwed up again. Or did you work just fine? Wait, did you just function because I detached and reattached it normally? It just worked? Okay, that's nice. This also shoots. Oh, yeah, baby. So in total, we're going to have... What is this? 8 railguns, 12 gatlings, and a partridge in a pear tree with this last little gatling back here. I think this ship's going to be pretty badass. Now, of course, I still need to armor it up. That will probably take me a while, as I'm going to need to do some nice shaping to it. I'm going to figure out how I want to armor it, whether I want it to be like a nice, like, hard slope up to the guns, or am I going to make it like a longer slope like this? I don't know. Be something like that. But I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me fiddle with armor shapes for like an hour, because that is what I'm going to need to do. I'm going to need to fiddle with armor shapes for like an hour. But in general, this is the ship. This is what we're going to have. We're going to armor the shit out of the front here. I'm not sure if I'm going to have even the ability to see out with my cockpit, or if I'm just going to make myself like a nice sort of command and control cockpit where I will be behind several layers of heavy armor. And I like it. In terms of fields of fire, anywhere off to one side of the ship, guaranteed you're going to have a gatling, and probably at least one of the... Sorry, you have always at least one railgun shooting at you, and most of the time also having a gatling shooting at you. There is a little bit of dead space in this design, in the sense that if you are in line exactly with the ship, neither of the gatlings can shoot at you. You have to be up at their level or slightly above, which is very easy to do at normal engagement ranges. You're not going to be perfectly in line for more than a moment, and even then you have the railgun shooting at you. And then I guess in a perfect world you could approach from like the front. If you are perfectly aligned with the front, technically nothing can shoot at you. I might have to do something about that. I do have some conveyor access here, so maybe I do go and like get a larger weapon. I don't think I need my own large railgun. It might be a little bit too far, but I don't know. Maybe I add in, just like I have a tail gatling here, because I like this guy. I'm not going to remove him. You always got to have a butt gun. Maybe I keep a few nose guns. But I think this is a highly functional retrofit for now. I'm going to armor clad this and paint it and get it functioning, because I believe our vents here are not connected, so I still need to run some conveyors through there. I need to, which I can do this now. I can get rid of that block because this front is no longer relying on that for a connection. We have this conveyor holding the front on. And, yeah. I think beyond that, we can just do a little bit of sort of putting it through its paces. Just good acceleration. Because we're nice and light. We can flip around. Get a nice brake on it. Good upwards acceleration. Downwards acceleration. And then we can just take all of our turrets and increase their aiming radius and enable AI. And sure, enable idle movement so I can see them wandering around a little bit. And we can do a little bit of changes here where, say, the gatlings, we are not going to shoot at large ships. We'll shoot at smalls. And maybe we shoot at rockets? I don't know. And then everybody, oh my god, we're going to shoot at weaponry. We always want to take out weaponry first. I like this ship. Once I get this armored up, I think this is going to be a really good destroyer. We'll just be able to go in and circle strafe at good distances and just pop shot all sorts of railguns. Hell yes. But that is going to be it for now. Get ourselves nicely aligned here in the sun so we can take a good look at it. That's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.